Mega level threat detected.
Ancient sands, heed my command.
You know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning?
And reclaim these relics of hatred. Morphin time!
Same thing that happens to everything else.
If the apocalypse comes, beat me. Beat me. Beat me. Beat me. Beat me.
Welcome to Real Hot Nerd Shit, a pop culture podcast where real hot nerds talk about real nerd shit. I'm your host, Ryan.
And I'm your host, Shauna.
And on this episode of Real Hot Nerd Shit, we'll be talking about Ironheart Episodes 4 through 6, the second half of the show, which is now complete, and we've got lots to say.
He's back, just like we thought. I called it from way back when. I knew WandaVision happened. I was like, it would lead. Little did we know, several years later, this would
Here
be
we
when it
are.
would finally happen.
Which is not the person that you're introing. That's just a reference to other conversations.
Oh, yeah, no,
It does
that's
sound
just
like
that's the Ironheart, actually. And no, actually, our guest for today was actually written in the book from Agatha all along.
Exactly.
So,
I'm part of the Dark One, actually.
The secret third Ryan is with us today. Welcome to the podcast. Wait.
these little jazz hands.
Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome. So you are a nerd, I know that, which was why I was so excited to be able to bring you on and hear your take and also to just bring my two worlds together because Ryan is the stand-in for other Ryan, who is still, for the second Ryan, but like in a totally different and great way, which includes, and I'm so sorry, before I ask you this first intro question, I have to tell you that, unsurprisingly, I got a little drunk at the beach on Saturday, and I was walking around holding the fucking boombox playing Cynthia Erivo's Defying Gravity in the lake.
And leading the charge, leading the sing-along. With about, 5-6 other people in the water.
Yeah, it was just the little tiny circle of us, and I was having such a good time, and I don't know, man, I have started getting more comfortable with some of the people that we hang out, and so that is what's coming. Okay, so the thing that I was going to tell you, I've been meaning to tell you and Uxie and Ryan this, Shauna, but sometimes when I talk, I get really into it, and I love a captive audience.
Go on. I've never heard this before about you. Tell me more, please.
So it was me talking to like 3 or 4 of my new friends that Ryan has introduced me to, and Ryan was not there. He was in the water, and he comes up as I'm mid spiel, and he goes, "Oh God, what are you lore dumping about now?"
I just caught the general vibe, and I've known Ryan long enough to understand what certain mannerisms mean. And I'm like, oh, okay, they're locked in. Let's see what's going on here.
Yep.
Look, I've absolutely followed through on the conversation options in many an RPG. You know what? I understand how this goes.
Yes, of course.
Sometimes you're like, I do keep clicking forward. I want to know. Yeah, where does this conversation tree lead to?
Right, exactly.
Please.
What a great segue into my question to Ryan. So I got introduced to a lot of these homosexuals via homosexual activities, which does include Marvel Rivals. So I was added to this big group chat of Rivals gamers. So Ryan, what are you if a nerd is someone who is weirdly knowledgeable and passionate about something, but people kind of think it's uncool, or, it takes its time for people to see how cool it is, what are you a nerd about?
It's kind of a big question. So I think my first fandom had to have been X-Men from the 97 TV show, the original one. Of course,
Yes.
it's a big time for the muties. There's a resurgence of '97. There is, we're talking about X-Men coming in the MCU. We're talking about certain cosmic forces being in Rivals now. Like, I mean, I don't think the hype train has ever stopped for X-Men, and like I wear this Krakoan X shirt in Pride today.
Yes.
So that was my first one, but I think my nerddom also like comes from my parents. My dad was more sci-fi. My mom was more like horror, and so like I have kind of like blended into two of those.
I didn't know you were a horror girly.
Yeah, I mean, like my mom was really into Buffy. I think Hellraiser is one of her favorite movies. Like, yes. Like my mom was very unassuming, but like she likes like Shauna. It's very interesting.
Shauna's making her kid a stone cold like dyed in the wool nerd. Like,
absolutely.
Their house has enough representation from nearly every nerd genre and flavor that that kid's gonna be cool.
Oh yeah, like we want to make sure he's very well rounded. Everything from musicals to superheroes. We actually, oh my gosh, all like a little sports thrown in, just a little bit of everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Want to make sure.
And they your kiddo just beat Breath of the Wild, and they are under 10.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well, like right. That's like I was very impressed. Like the one day, like. Because he got up early and was like playing and was like, I beat 3 of the bosses this morning. I was like, oh my god, I love this. Like
this morning.
Yeah, like because he had gone through all of the dungeons and left the bosses for the end.
Interesting.
And like just like yeah, it was a very like there's like all right, I've done the puzzle part. Now I'm gonna go get stronger to fight the fight.
Huh. What a smart kid.
That's a unique approach.
Yeah, so that was he's been really into video games, like loves like I love passing on my love of Zelda to him. It makes me so happy.
Which reminds me, so you're also a gamer, Ryan. What's been your experience with gaming? So we play Rivals, but
we play Rivals. Right now I'm currently playing, like, I don't know, I'll get into like some weird like depressive funks, and I'm like, what would fix me? A Japanese RPG. And then like I never end up finishing it because like I will come out of my depression and I'll just be like, this is more than I committed to a lot more than I was willing to actually do. And I'm better now. So right now I'm playing Triangle Strategy for the Switch. It's like a tactics game. I am not strategic at all, but like I'm fumbling my way through it. Playing Rivals, of course. I'm still playing Clair Obscur, the sad French game that like everybody's like gagging about. Definitely gonna be a game of the year. I'm very excited. I'm trying to play less video games in the summer because like I live in like a really nice place by the beach, and like I didn't move to Chicago to like play video games all day. So,
yeah,
that's for the winter.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's for winter and depressive episodes. Don't forget about the depressive episodes.
Yes.
So are there any things? Well, I guess before we move on to if there's anything else that you are nerdy about that's not like nerd content. So like, our other Ryan is like super nerdy about Billboard Top 100. Like he loves that stuff. And my other question is, who are your Rivals mains?
Rivals mains, I probably have the most hours on Magneto and Emma.
Divas.
So definitely keeping with my X motif. I think Cloak and Dagger are a close third. And in terms of like other nerd stuff, I don't know. I really like comic books, which I guess is like the source material of what we're talking about. I was a lot more into comics when I was in a working position where I was like able to read them a lot of the day. But like now, I want to be up and about and do my thing. But like it's the thing about comics is that like it's kind of like TV, right? Like you can always come back to it. Like there's a huge deposit of that information that's rarely accessible. Like, and there's that Q Comic Shop in Andersonville that have you been to that one?
The black-owned one? Wait, no, not that one. The black-owned one was where I went on my birthday. I don't remember the name of it, but it's in Rogers Park.
Okay. We'll
I think I might have gone to the one in Andersonville.
It's like something.
So just to catch the world up, because I don't think we've talked about our mains in a while. Who are your mains, Shauna?
So my mains right now, I've been really like, if I'm playing damage, it's Storm. She's been my go-to.
She's
like,
so good at Storm.
I love it. It's absolutely my favorite. And again, with the X-Men theme, and same also with Magic. She's my like dive character. I love like going in with the sword, disrupting. For tank, it's definitely Emma's by far been like ever since she debuted, she's been my go-to. Like I'm already at Centurion with her. I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm like well, like I really like playing as her. She's so much fun.
Right, right.
I'm struggling to get to like out of captain.
See that, and then Cloak and Dagger has been like by far my go-to main because I play a lot of Overwatch back in the day, and so that was where. So I feel like she feels very like they feel like Moira, and so I feel like the switch between damage and heals was like a very easy. Like I'm like, oh, I got this. Like once I figured it out, I got very good at it, and so
I get this concept. Yes.
Yeah.
I definitely. I am also a Cloak and Dagger main. But that's because I'm one of the people that people make fun of that like you just do it because it's a hit scan and like you don't have to try. Yeah, I know it's the only way I'll still have fun. Otherwise, I'll just get frustrated.
Yeah, exactly.
I try hard characters and I'm bad at them.
Right. I'm not in this to be good. I'm in this to have fun.
Exactly. I want us to win. I did put in a little solo time in practice versus AI as Storm. I'm trying to like I can't talk shit about her being my favorite and then not be good at her. Why am I not fucking Lord on Storm? Like, because then when Phoenix comes out and her kit, okay, so perfect segue into the banter. Phoenix is coming to Rivals as well as Blade, and I'm so fucking hyped for Phoenix. I love that she's distance. I love that she seems like she's got an escape mechanism. She's not a flyer, which it would have made a lot of sense to make her a flyer because she literally floats pretty much everywhere she goes. But I want to get really good at her, and I can't just be good at her. I have to be good at Storm too. Like it's not right. It's just not right. So, Shauna, Ryan, what are your thoughts on Phoenix coming? Not that they're not any different than mine.
I like. First, I want to talk about the design. I love how like all of the Rivals ladies are like significantly thicker than like their source material. Like Emma is just like she's built like a tank.
Like everyone loves thick Emma. Just universally, everyone was like, upgrade. Upgrade.
It's going to be one of those decisions that you look back on 10 years from now and you'll be like, oh my gosh, why Emma has always been this way. This is just now her design from here on out.
When they cast Megan Thee Stallion as Emma Frost in the upcoming X-Men movies, which I fully feel like she would take. That would be because she has that alter ego Tina Snow who has this like platinum blonde bob. She's remarkable. Sorry, and we were talking about Phoenix. She's cunty.
Yeah, like I love the design of her outfit. I think it's curious that she has like the like floating embodiment of the Phoenix right next to her. Yes, Ryan.
Shauna, have you put thought into this yet?
So, I don't love it. Like it's the only thing I don't like is the floating behind. Like I think it's a little distracting. Like it's just it's not. It feels like it's like a pet and not like a like cosmic entity like aura attached to her. And so that's where I'm like, it's not my favorite, but like I'm sure I'll get used to it. And like that's just like my first thought. Like
because like Cloak and Dagger, who are like actually like attached to each other, like you don't see like the opposite one like floating around.
Right. Great point. I low-key, I didn't care either way until I was thinking about it earlier, and It's only been today. What am I talking about? It's been like 4 hours since I saw this. Like I had some deep revelation, but perhaps I just had the headspace to be able to think about it for real. I think it's some nerds that were in fucking dev that were like, well, technically she's not the Phoenix.
Right.
But like also now she is the Phoenix. Like it has been confirmed that the Phoenix is just part and like it is part of her. Mm-hmm. She is Phoenix. Phoenix is her.
Right. She's had the name in the comics.
Yes, like it's legit now. It's not what it used to be. So it's no longer this cosmic entity that took over her. It is a part of her. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's probably a cooler way to show that. Like, what if her skin was just constantly burning? Like, sure. But you know, I didn't have a negative response to it. I'm just really excited to see her kit like in action. I want to play it. We have like 9 more days, which is annoying, but
yeah, it looks like she's good at at crowd control. There's a lot of like AoE. She's got that like I love a good laser, so that's like definitely an anti-flyer thing.
Yeah,
and then she just like I don't know like headbutts you as the Phoenix for her ult, and I think that's really cool.
I do not like all you see is just fire take up the screen. Was that like
it's like I think it's like a POV. Like she just like turns the Phoenix. You can see her like beak. I don't know, and then like
right
dive bombs.
All I know is I need to know that some homosexuals were involved in the writing of the voice lines because I need to hear sisterhood between Jean and Storm. And I need to hear Emma and Jean just like
a verbal telekinetic slapdown.
Look, all I'm saying is if the line between Sue and Emma that like, oh, I love that we're both mothers, and you're like, we both may be moms, but you are not mother. And I'm like, if that line exists, then I have a feeling that there's at least one homosexual.
Oh, wow.
Voice. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Have you not heard that voice line yet?
No.
Oh, it's so funny. She just calls herself mother.
Wow. Oh yeah, like Sue's like being like all like, oh my gosh, we're the same, and then Emma is just like, yes, but no. Thank you for seeing me. However,
right. Yeah, I want to hear what she says when either of them KO each other. Like,
oh yeah,
I want it, and it needs to be messy. I know they're like cool now or whatever, but like. You know, I want Wolverine to be I want comic accurate voice lines. Like Wolverine needs to be fucking super horny for Jean Grey, and she needs to be just kind of whatever about him.
Right. There needs to be like a longing. And
they do, yeah.
They do. Wolverine just gets hot.
Right, exactly. He just walks around with like a fucking giant heart on. They gave Venom twerking. Why can't he get a little chub? Why can't Wolverine get a little chub when he talks to Jean?
Be brave.
Wolverine kind of is a little, anyways.
Yeah, that's true. One of those memes that's like someone just trying to go about their day, and then it's like the person screaming like Wolverine could technically never be circumcised.
Yeah, of course.
His canonic 5'3" ass. Like.
Yeah, right. So other exciting news: Sarah Michelle Gellar is was inducted into the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Speaking of mother, exactly. So well deserved. Buffy did not get its appropriate recognition when it was on the air, but like. Yeah, give this girl her flowers for her hard fucking work, man.
And like Buffy, the show died, she got her flowers, and now she's coming back again.
Right.
Very excited for that. I actually watched like Buffy in its entirety for the first time in preparation for this. I think I watched like the finale.
This for being on our podcast. Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to. Thank you.
No, for my move to Chicago.
For the reboot. And I was even introducing Ryan to somebody who I had connected with like the day before about Buffy. I like literally like put them together, and I was just like, okay, what's your favorite Buffy episode? Then I ran away.
Yeah, it was so
like I dropped a bomb.
Yeah. And it worked. We had a nice little conversation for a minute.
I mean, like that show like holds up still so well. I mean, it's I love a mystical child soldier coming of age story.
Yes.
It's pretty much like my favorite medium.
Agree. which, you know, is sort of related to, so SMG's getting her flowers. Cleveland is getting a WNBA team. Shauna, take it away.
Yeah, so it was just announced this Monday that Cleveland is one of 3 upcoming expansion teams, and the first that's going to get one in 2028, along with Detroit and Philadelphia. And so, if you know, Cleveland actually previously had a WNBA team called the Rockers. They were one of the inaugural franchises, as was the Detroit Shock, which I didn't realize until like literally this week that the Shock was a car reference, not unlike Pistons. And I was like, oh, of course it is. But I just did not put it together in any way, shape, or form. So just
that's Motor City, right?
That is the one and the same, yes.
Got it. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and so, but yeah, Cleveland's getting a team in 2028, which is really exciting. Like, is a little far, but not that far. Like, it's just far enough that like it feels imminent.
Yeah.
So we're very excited here.
The hype can appropriately build.
Oh yeah, like we just got a the first women's sports bar just opened here in Cleveland. So like we're like it's everything's building really like great on that front.
Yeah.
And we even drew the ire of one of, I think, the league villains at the moment, Sophie Cunningham. So if you're not aware, Sophie Cunningham plays for the Indiana Fever alongside Caitlin Clark. And she is this like white blonde lady in just every way.
Yeah.
And like she is like that white blonde lady, and like literally wore a shirt that said Trey Leches on it with like her and 2 other white women on the team. Like,
Trace Leches.
yes, that's the one.
Yeah, 3 milks, which is what that translates to.
Yeah, whatever. Yes.
That's funny.
I was like, yes. Yeah, and so I was like, but and like literally she got a sponsorship deal with Ring after like protecting Caitlin Clark. Yeah, like no, she is absolutely courting a very specific kind of fan, as Caitlin Clark has for the Indiana Fever. And with that being said, when it was announced that these were the teams, she went on this like, I don't know why nobody's going to want to go to Detroit and she said Cincinnati, but she meant to say Cleveland. She just couldn't even get her insult right. So she's like, nobody goes to Detroit or Cleveland, or no, who would want to go there? People would want to go to Nashville or Kansas City or Miami. And I was like, you play for Indiana. And look, I get that Cleveland is not Chicago, but Indiana is not Cleveland, Indianapolis.
Correct.
Like, let's not ignore that.
But
also,
don't kid yourself, girl.
Like, she knows who her target audience is here, because I'm sorry, like saying that, 2 cities.
It's racist as fuck, like out loud.
It's just not even like trying to hide it. But again, that's her whole thing. Again, with the
3 whites,
the milk ladies. Yeah, the milk ladies.
Right. Yeah. What a weird thing to like want yourself to be branded as.
It's all weird, but again, that's the whole thing. Yeah. Right, and especially again, pointing out that in a league with predominantly Black women in it is again also a choice.
Yes.
And it's just it's too much coincidence. I think that there's a lot of coincidence around Caitlin Clark that I don't think she necessarily means to incur what happens. She's just, as my partner put today, she's kind of the Elvis of the WNBA, that she just doesn't do anything to stand up against it, and it's like, oh, I guess I did invent basketball. Isn't this wonderful? Like, yeah. And like, it was I thought that was a really great analogy
that is a perfect analogy.
Yeah, but I don't think it's intentional. It feels intentional at Sophie Cunningham, in my opinion.
Sure. Yeah, I don't even really care about. I mean, let me rephrase that. I have no investment in the drama of the WNBA, but like even just in cursory, like passing, kind of being connected to it. Of course, my feed is very excited about the WNBA. Caitlin Clark just seems like she sucks. Like, I get it, and she doesn't seem like she's a mean person. But to your point, she definitely doesn't. How do you have that many Black coworkers and people who are like on your team that you don't feel a different sense of awareness? Like, there are other white women who have done that and like stood up for themselves, but Caitlin Clark, much like, here we go, full circle, soapbox, when we were talking about Chapel Roan being sort of the Sabrina Carpenter offset, like they rose to notoriety at the same time. Like this Caitlin Clark, and I know I should know this because she's dope as fuck. The black woman
Paige
that
Becker. Oh, Asia Wilson.
maybe were they on like a similar team, or was like
the one that she had a rivalry with is Angel
yes.
Reese.
Okay,
yes.
Angel Reese.
Okay.
Yes, that is the
Yep.
rivalry.
Got
You know, they had to have this thing that like they are a response to each other, and they came up in the college ball, right? And then they both went to the WNBA, were both highly revered or whatever. You're
so butch right now. You're
I know. Give it to them, girlies. I'm wearing a Chicago Bulls jersey. Well, cut off. I do definitely. I need some Rockers gear, and I need some.
Yeah.
It's the Chicago Sky.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, you're in the home of Angel Reese, and so like getting some good my aforementioned partner has an Angel Reese jersey, and so we definitely that's what she wore to celebrate the WNBA coming to Cleveland. So we're like,
hell yeah. So eyes on Cleveland, also eyes of Wakanda. I tried.
Wow.
I tried. We got a first.
Not our best segue, but not our worst either.
Not our worst for sure. We got a first little 15-second teaser trailer into Eyes of Wakanda, new animated show. Ryan Coogler going for the 3-peat in 1 year of just incredible Black programming. But yeah, what do we think of the first look?
The animation looks crisp. It looks funky. It looks. I think I'm gonna do some hallucinogens and watch it.
Yes, genius.
Just gonna vibe really hard to it. I'm really interested, just because it looks like an anthology, right? So it's maybe just a bunch of different stories about Wakanda flavored things. I'm excited to see what kind of stories come out of it.
Shauna, what'd you think?
No, honestly, the same. I think it just looks really good, and I'm very interested. Especially, I love a good anthology, and I think it'll be a really I always think of the Animatrix was one that was back in the day. I really love that as a compendium to the main movies, and so I think this could do something very similar. Very excited for it.
Segueing into today's topic, which is the final 3 episodes of Ironheart. But before we do that, you talked a little bit about it earlier with your relationship to X-Men. But what's your origin story with Marvel? What, you said your dad was interested in sci-fi. How did Marvel come about, and did you have any knowledge about Ironheart before the show?
I was blessed enough to have been a child during the great run of the first round of Marvel TV shows. We're talking X-Men, we're talking Spider-Man, we're talking Fantastic Four, maybe to a little lesser extent. But it was just a great time to be a child and just absorbed into all these stories. And wouldn't you know it, I really latched on to the story about the really heavy-handed allegory about oppression and rising up above that and finding community. Wow, amazing!
Wow, yeah, checks out.
Yeah, yup. Same, and also Batman the Animated Series too, in that same era. Just such a great oh, so good.
I had action figures. I had the Blackbird, the toy. Oh
wow!
Wherever that thing is now, I hope it's being well taken care of because I love that thing.
Speaking of childhood action figures, I do have. I can't wait to set up my display for you to see, Ryan. I do have some of my action figures from when I was a child, including the 2 of the original Flipmorph Power Rangers action figures. I have some from the X-Men movie, but as a going away present, Shauna gifted me one of her childhood X-Men figures for my Storm collection.
Oh, love that.
Yeah.
It was like the one that had like the light up chest. Like, yeah.
Pretty
That like that era. Yeah. I might have found my Blackbird from that era. Like when you said that, I was like, it's downstairs in my basement currently. Like, oh yeah, like where like it's like here's you take out like the top so they could all sit in it, and it's like here is the seat because like the figures take up all the room, but like it's fine.
Right. And so was Ironheart part of your picking up comics? Did you ever get into her solo stuff? Or
I don't know if I like ever heard about the source material for Ironheart. I don't know much about like the comic run of that, but I think it's interesting that like how the MCU has kind of incorporated her in. I think like putting her in Wakanda Forever and kind of having her be like the plot point was really interesting.
Yes.
And like, I mean, if you don't know who Riri is, then like, tough shit, because Wakanda Forever was incredible.
Yeah. We definitely were talking about how Shauna still needs to see Wakanda Forever.
Mm-hmm. It's sad.
It's sad. Good. It's sad.
Good. It's I mean, like the movie is sad.
yeah. There's mom stuff, like it's sad.
Yeah.
So I totally
like,
understand
all of that. I was just like,
I think it's totally valid for you to avoid that.
I'm going to. I just like it's like I just have to like
theater. So like, yeah.
No, I would be a wreck.
Yeah,
like oh my gosh, when we watched the first Inside Out movie with my my partner and their parents, like and like the four of us were just like afterwards sitting at the restaurant just bawling. Like it was very good, but
yeah. We'll watch it together because I think I do have enough memory of when the super tough parts come out, and we'll just fast forward through it. And I'll just summarize it for you. I'll take one for the team. Okay, so so Ironheart not in your bag. This was first, other than Wakanda Forever. This was first connection to her.
Yeah.
Okay, Episode 4 starts with a flashback of John and Parker robbing someone. We don't really get a sense of who it is, but we have this moment where, Parker is kind of stopped mid-heist by a security guard, and we see a gunshot, and then John shows up, and they have this moment where John is like, you find me after, like, we have to split up. And Parker says, how am I going to find you? And he says, I'm always near. And they really make it this whole point that like John was really important to Parker. And it flashes forward to the gang and the funeral or whatever it was. Like they just pick up at the pizza shop that's the front for their hideout. And it becomes pretty clear that Parker knows that Riri did it. So that picks us up from episode 3 last week.
And she didn't really do a big job of trying to hide it. Let's be honest here. She was very like, she didn't even like try and fake it. Like,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, say it again.
I'm just saying though, like she was shook about the whole thing, right? Like she
totally.
She didn't want to fight that man. She didn't want to leave him behind, but like
shit happens.
And
that's what happens when you do crime,
right? And he was gonna like blow up her spot about taking the piece of the cloak, the hood.
It was gonna kill her, like
totally.
Like all of those things. Like she didn't do anything wrong,
right.
Like, but also absolutely I could see where you're feeling guilty.
Girl,
but also
welcome to the Avengers,
right, girl?
I was like also. Yeah, maybe pick up on some acting skills. Like she would have failed the acting challenge for this week because. And she lip sync for her life.
So Ryan, just so you know, Shauna just got into Drag Race with season.
You're blasting through this. You're season 10 now.
Oh, yes,
blowing right. Oh yeah.
It's because Anya was on this past season. So we go to the lab where Natalie and Riri are trying to study the cloak. And she can't figure out where it comes from. We get references to Wakanda and the Kree, and to Stark and to Pym. And so she's like, I can't figure this shit out, and is trying to get a hold of Joe, of course, who is not, why would he pick up for you, girl? You know that he, like, you left his biomesh in the fucking biodome. And so she goes over to Joe's house, and we see that it is a crime scene, and we learn that he has been arrested. His super annoying white neighbor, who they really stylized as a super annoying white lady neighbor.
I think it was interesting that she is the only white woman in the cast. I'm pretty sure.
Oh my God, that's true. She really is. And she's definitely rooting for Trace Leches in the WNBA if she even knows it exists.
She's a big Caitlin Clark fan. Big fan.
Big Caitlin Clark fan. And that would be the first thing she brings up to a black person. She'd be like, oh, you know, I love the WNBA. I'm a huge Caitlin Clark fan. So it kind of starts to bubble up. The crew starts to put together that it's super weird that the biomesh was found where John died. And then Riri shows back up to the spot, and Parker pretty much flat out tells her that he knows she outsourced help. So he doesn't say, I know you killed John, but he says, I know you like were working with someone to accomplish the shit that you were supposed to. And it's pretty much on from there between the two of them.
Right. Because like, I mean, I think that was definitely like a way to like make her feel even worse.
Yes.
Just to be like, oh yeah, I know that you were connected, and like, you know, this dude's arrested now, and it's your fault.
Yeah. And they kind of drag Ezekiel Stain. Joe McGillicuddy is no more publicly. He cannot exist anymore, which is something that will come up later because Joe McGillicuddy went to prison, and then everyone finds out that Ezekiel Stain is alive. And again, I don't really remember the Iron Man movies, but apparently Obadiah Stane in the public eye was well revered.
Yeah.
Even though we know he was a jackass.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, I think in the original Iron Man, like, Tony had to like kill him, or he died in like the arc reactor accident. But he was like, rather than like this tank my stock, like, let's just say he died a hero.
Yeah. Right. Oh, see, I would not have remembered that. I don't remember the Iron Man movies. So after that, Riri goes to visit John in prison, and he is not super stoked about the fact that he is in prison. He is really super pissed. He has no compassion for her, and he reads her for filth. He's like, Zeke Stain really sells it. He is absolutely going for it, and he's definitely, it's clear they are setting up that he's going to come for her. Like, it kind of sets us up for what happens later. So Riri starts to freak out, realizing that Parker definitely knows that she killed John, and Zeke is very, very upset with her. So she gives her mom and Xavier these like little watches that we do get to see activate at a later point in the episode. And it basically like bubbles the person, like Hulk's gamma shield in Rivals, where, you know, you're just like temporarily encased in it. And like Riri wasn't sleeping, she was sleeping in her suit. And so when she hears her mom get bubbled, because it was activated by what? The sound TV. Of gunfire. Yeah. Yes, on TV. She like breaks down the door, and her mom was like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And so eventually she starts to let it all out to her mom, that she needs help. I think we kind of ran through that a little bit, but any thoughts or notes from that chunk of it?
I think it was just really interesting how, you know, Riri's mental state throughout like this and this entire show. I think it was very kind. I think it was very understanding of like, of course she's paranoid, right? Like her best friend was gunned down. Like her best friend and her stepdad were gunned down in front of her, right? So like I think in some ways it's very kind of Tony Stark-esque, right? Like I want to put a suit of armor around the world, right? Like I need to protect it's a very anime. I need to protect everybody, right? And so, you know, she wants to, like, that's ultimately why she's building the suit, right? She says throughout like I do it because I can, but it's like I have all this regret and this survivor's guilt that I need to like mitigate.
Great point.
And like she has a lot of PTSD. Like she's constantly having anxiety attacks and panic attacks. She literally gave her AI panic attacks because they're such a part of her. Like I think that says something about where she's not in a great headspace in the best of times, let alone as everything's unraveling and she's struggling. She's hurting people around her that she's not meaning to. She's trying to do, like you said, protect everyone, you know, look out for all of her family, and is just not doing a great job of it. Her balance is just poor, and she's only pushing away the people that love her.
Yeah, and as we're talking through the episodes, it actually is kind of changing how I'm feeling about the end. Because I do, like, we have to contextualize, this is like over the course of a few days, maybe. Like, she's like having these suit upgrades like done in a day. So what, to me, I'm always like, what the fuck? How long has she been working on this? Oh, 1 day? She's been working on it for 1 day? But it makes some of the things that happen later where it's like very impulsive, where it's like, okay, I actually can kind of understand as a person who has like gone through, you know, a series of events where you're just like, fucking hell, I can't take this shit. Like it's just one kick in the nuts after the next. And then you see a possible end of the tunnel, and so you're just like, fuck it, I gotta go. I'm just gonna try to I need to do this thing, I have to take care of it, only for it to definitely be a train and not the end of the tunnel, which influences, I think, which, you know, is later. But I really liked that Riri finally opens up to her mom. One of the other things, we haven't talked much about how endearing Natalie is, just like throughout the episode. But when her and Riri are on the porch installing security cameras, because again, Riri is losing her mind, Natalie, like virtual Natalie, AI Natalie, is shaking ass. She is throwing ass. Like, it is incredible. We do also learn that Riri hasn't had her first kiss when she tells Natalie that she went to go give Xavier that watch. We learn that she hasn't had her first kiss. She's like in her mid-20s. Like, that's, you know, I think that says a lot about
No,
her.
she's like late teen. Like she's like 18, 19, like 18 to 22, I thought.
I think they were showing her, yeah, definitely, like mid-20s, like early 20s at most. Like,
well, yeah,
I think they definitely showed her,
right? Because they said in the first episode that like she's been like at MIT for longer,
for 5 years
than like she was supposed to. So I think that gives you some kind of idea.
So she went at 15 and
she went at like 14, 15, yeah.
15, yeah. And then I think they showed her drinking alcohol at some point. Like, I can't remember. I feel like they do show her like at a bar or something, wherever they go to that club. And I feel like that was to establish that she is of drinking age. But there's this endearing moment where Riri admits that she needs help. She thinks she needs to fight magic with magic. And her mom says, Mama's got the plug. And I just love when like actual black slang works its way into black media.
There was a lot of it here, and it was like none of it felt forced. It like felt very authentic. It felt like a conversation, like, you know, that people actually have.
Which to the next scene, which I think is probably the highlight of the entire fucking series. They go, so it turns out the plug is Miss Stanton's mystic shop. So they go to Miss Stanton, who is played by Cree Summer. They go to her candy shop. And
love her.
Thank you. I was like losing it at the last episode, and we were trying to remember all the things that she was in, but other than Abbott, the only thing I could think of was Susie Carmichael.
Rugrats.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yes. But she's done so much. She's got to be one of the most well-known, recognizable voices in animated content. But we meet the cashier, or like the person working behind the counter, who is her daughter, named Zelma. And quite quickly, we are transported to this alternate dimension by way of Zelma's witchcraft, because she clocks that the help that Riri is coming for, like, they're pretty straightforward of saying they need magical help, but they're not like, no, I don't need crystals or whatever. Like, you have something from the dark dimension in your pocket, and I can totally tell because I probably have wards all up and through this bitch. And so they transport to the magic shop. I didn't even really take notes about what was happening in there, like in terms of the scene, because all of my notes are just different all caps sentences. So like, first reactions to this immediate transportation into the magical world. Shauna, how did you take it in?
I thought it was such a cool scene. Like, I love that they immediately went right into like Marvel magic lore. I especially pointed the line where when someone's like, "Yeah, Kamartage is my reach school," and again, it was just such a like great way of like talking about it as a like in a way that someone who is also that like late teen, early 20s would talk about the magical school of mysticism. Like, of course, like your shit. Like,
yeah,
it's so cool.
Yeah, Ryan.
I remember Zelma from I think it was when I was reading Doctor Strange for a while. Like, she's like a part of the comics. She in the comics she has like a similar role. She's actually like Strange's like assistant, like wannabe apprentice. She kind of gets like roped into all of this magical fuckery because like she has like extrasensory abilities. But I'm really interested because I think they're doing like Strange Academy, like that's what she's going to tie into. So I'm really like the actor was fantastic. She was bubbly. I love even like the little attention to detail, like when they're looking at the piece of hood and she like slaps her glasses and the binoculars come up. Incredible. So cute.
Yes.
She also had like a gay shirt on at some point. Love it.
She does.
I feel like it was the I love whatever, and the heart was rainbow. She reminds me of Darcy, like Black Darcy Lewis from the WandaVision universe. Like, the way that she's styled is that sort of like angsty but still like smarter than everyone around her type shit. So she's wearing a shirt that says "You're too good for him," and immediately fell in love. And it also reminds me of my sweatshirt from the Read that says "Break up with him." Same vein. So my notes start with work, magic, transportation, diva, Zelma in all caps.
That's all you need to know, really.
Exactly. And I think her mom's name is Ronnie. Her reaction to what happens is perfect. It is absolutely perfect. They are explaining it, and someone says parallel plane, and she is just like narrating behind everyone else having a regular conversation, and she says, "Oh, y'all just gonna casually throw around the term parallel plane." Like, she is the voice of the viewer in real time. It's great. We see them. Ryan, you mentioned the binoculars, microscope thingy, and we learn that it is likely from one of the darkest dimensions because they're studying the hood. And Cree, Miss Stanton, is really freaking out about it. She says, because they share about Parker and seeing the scars on him and stuff. And she says, you know, the entity that's like associated with that thing, it does not possess you, it influences you. And so we really start to like get the reality of how bad the connection is, whatever. And essentially, she actually is so freaked out by it. She says, like, you all have to leave now. Like, I get this out of my shop. You shouldn't even have it. And it takes us onto the street where I was just like, I thought it was maybe kind of, it wasn't my favorite scene where she was like talking to her mom like she's one of the Avengers. She's like, well, we tried this, and like, girl, do you think your mom just like suddenly started understanding everything that's going around you? And then they get into an argument, and her mom says, you better not get in that suit. And Riri says, or what? And then gets in the suit and flies away, leaving us in conflict. Yeah, so we have this great, cool reintroduction of magic at and we even get a backstory about Miss Stanton being a witch, which is that she was studying at Carmitage but then got pregnant. Which also, who gets pregnant at Carmitage?
Hey,
she's fucking other wizards. That's a magic ass baby.
Oh my gosh,
magic.
Is the dad what's his name?
Wong.
Oh no, the not Wong. No, or
it's not strange. So like I was like, Wong is a like
Baron Mordo?
Wong is a man at Carmitage.
Ooh, or Baron Mordo. Those are the two guys that I immediately. You're right. Those
Baron Mordo. And Baron Mordo is black.
That's true. That's true. He is.
So with really bad really bad Locks wig in that in Multiverse of Madness. Cut. So Riri really starts to feel the pressure of needing to destroy this thing, so she takes it back to her lab and she starts working on all the different ways that she can destroy it, and she can't, and she realizes she just can't do it, which sends her into a whole nother panic attack. So she jumps in the suit and flies away, and you know, Natalie is like trying to get her to calm down, but she can't calm down until she eventually has like a full-blown panic attack and has to basically eject from the suit. And Riri is not listening to her, so she says, oh, I know what's the perfect idea here. I'm going to go fly off and get my brother. I'm going to get him to jump in this suit and bring him back here, which she does. And he immediately starts to freak out that his sister is an AI.
Understand. Yeah,
yeah.
Totally. You know, I really liked the whole Natalie subplot. You know, I'm coming up in July on a lost anniversary myself, and I think like the idea of having that person but not that person, right? It's a projection. It's like a, you know,
right,
a series of ideas and memories like around you, right? I think that like that really resonated with me. But then like, of course, I'm also thinking about like, okay, like her mom was cool with it, but like,
yeah,
probably not her brother.
Yeah.
Well, and I think also like because they had the conversation of like Natalie being like, so when are you going to tell him about me? And she's like, I don't know, it's not now though. And like, and I'm like, all right, but like they were both wrong because both like, you know, Riri was correct to be wary of telling him that like, hey, this is like a deal. But also Natalie was right. He needed to know because finding out in that kind of way is never going to lead to like the right reaction that you're looking for. Yeah. And so I was like, oh. And I feel like that's where like it's such a like this 3 episodes, like you had to get the drama in real quick. And so that's where like you just saw like the conflict with the mom, and you just saw the conflict now here with like the 3 of them, kind of where that doesn't
Riri
go
is
well.
getting just like roundhouse kicked in the fucking boobs over and over again. And like, so now not only she has finally kind of come to terms with her Natalie potentially just being her AI. She has accepted Natalie staying, and literally immediately then is made to feel bad about it by Xavier. And so she like contemplates like, okay, well maybe I should fucking destroy it because her brother said so. And like, I don't know, it kind of feels like that's her bloodkin. I assume that they probably see each other as sisters, but like, you know, Riri's whole issue, I think the ethical use of Natalie, like, is it fair to be reportraying this person that did not agree to be, you know, recreated like that? And then the episode wraps up with Hood breaking Zeke out of prison explicitly to get revenge on Riri. And they go back to the lab. And one of the last things we see is him getting some upgrades in this crazy ass machine. And Shea Coulee gives him a wooden spoon and says bite, which was like
and then she
hot.
says good boy.
It was so good.
Yeah.
She
breakout star.
Yeah,
breakout star, really. The scene, the fight scene later when Shay looks and's like, honestly, never mind, and walks away. So fucking real.
Well, and I think I love the like detail of like, and change administrator from it being to you to, oh, I guess it is to the Hood.
Yep. So it ends with the Hood putting out this hit on Riri to his gang. And it also ends with the Anthony Ramos song, which I don't know if you all had subtitles on, but it is an Anthony Ramos song
and I
called
did
Villain.
notice that from that.
I didn't realize that Anthony Ramos was a musician.
Yeah. Well, we know he's a singer because he was in West Side Story.
Oh,
and
that's
Hamilton.
the guy.
Oh, and Hamilton, duh.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
He's Usnavi.
Okay. Well, I mean, he beefed the fuck up for this role, so
totally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
totally.
I did not see that. Okay.
So, episode 5. Episode 5, really quick. There was quite a bit of build up. Uxie texted me in all caps saying, like, have you watched, like, are you watching? Let me know when you get to episode 5. And then Shauna also got a message from someone being like, let me know when you get to episode 5. So I'm like, all right, here we go. Episode 5. So Parker has let the team know that Riri killed John, and we start with Slug capturing Ironheart's suit, which does not have Riri in it because Natalie had flown away from the junkyard in the suit after her brother freaked out. And so we kind of cut over to Riri and Zelma at White Castle, where we learn the Hood is connected to Dormammu's dark dimension, and they are interrupted by the Blood siblings. And we get a massive fight scene between the Blood siblings, Riri, and Clown, where a lot of things happen. The twins, the siblings get bubbled. Riri fucks them up with her science, with her environment. She scienced the fuck out of them hoes.
She made a fire hydrant cannon.
Absolutely wild. But also,
the most impressive thing to me was gave everyone watching it an incredible desire to go to White Castle. I wanted White Castle so much after that scene. I was like,
in the kitchen, there was that, there were those robotic arms that were
yes. Yes.
I was hoping that something was going to be incorporated with those, but
White Castle of the future.
Right. So this scene was, I don't know, the whole, the crew being this ragtag group of miscreants who were doing heists or whatever, and then them flipping into I don't know, contract murder. It just didn't really land for me. And then
and they were cool with it,
right? And then Slug is trying to run her over, and then gets out when they're just oh no, truck flip, bye. Clown was trying to bomb this child. It was weird.
Trying to take out a whole White Castle.
Right.
Yeah, that definitely bothered me because the whole premise is that they are motivated to kill her because they cared so deeply about John. But so we definitely got the sense that they fucked with Riri, but I can't imagine they'd be yep, time to kill her.
Right, exactly. Oh, Hood said so.
It just didn't make sense to me. I was not wild about that.
Another one of those things where it just felt like kind of rushed in its 6 episodes-ness.
Yes.
Like, they had to go from, oh, everything's cool to, yeah, I guess we should probably kill her. That's a great point.
Right.
Everybody should try to kill her.
Yes.
Yeah. Perfect. Let's do it.
So there's this big fight, and Riri gives Shay the finger, which is actually a really cute moment that will definitely be a GIF used in the future of the Ironheart middle finger. But then the fight is kind of like interrupted / ended when Zeke Stain, electrified Zeke Stain, who is low-key kind of a fucking hottie with that haircut, shows up and tries to kill her and is unsuccessful. And like we get a soliloquy from him about how he didn't want to turn into his father, but here he is trying to destroy an Iron Freak. And
yeah, I think this was a little rushed too. I think like all of the like antagonist development other than Hood were like really rushed, right? Like I could tell that like Joe was kind of like beginning to break bad when he like cut his arm open, like even when like he and Riri were cool, and I'm just like, I thought you were like keeping this all under wraps, but
right.
It'll be an interesting, if honestly, I don't think that it's going to get a season 2. It got review bombs terribly, but it'll be interesting to see like if his character comes back in some kind of like anti-hero context. We'll see.
Well, apparently Rotten Tomatoes took down all the negative reviews, so it is currently scored at an 86.
That's amazing. Yeah. I was just looking up the cast on IMDb, and I was just like, I don't want to read that one. I don't want to read that one. I don't want to read that one.
Yep. God. So Zeke does not kill her and says like, you got to get out of Chicago, and he takes some of her armor or whatever. So she like pries herself out and goes back home to her mom, and they have this emotional conversation where she does reveal that creating the suit was not just because she could, but it was to protect her mom after losing Gary and Natalie. And her mom takes her back to the garage where we have this beautiful holographic flashback of Gary and Riri, which ultimately sets us up for the reconstruction of the suit. But this was a good emotional beat, like her coming clean to her mom, admitting she needs help, and then like we get to see like this moment, and there is a specificness of the father-daughter relationship. There is a specificity of showing a present Black father figure who is like not even her father. He is her stepfather, and that is still her dad. He's the dad who stepped up. And they were inseparable. Like they spent all their time together, and that really was, I think they did a great job of like, that is actually where grief comes. Fuck, here we go. Want some WandaVision ass shit. What is grief but love persevering? Like, of course you're losing your mind, girl. This person who is literally so imprinted in you that you accidentally made her an AI and made her perfectly, to the fact that she remembers tiny memories about 03 Bonnie and Clyde and shit. And this man who helped you become the little genius who helped, fulfill this genius potential. Like, oh, of course you are fucking spiraling, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely shed some tears at like the little flashback. And like Riri is like still kind of like very resistant to it. She's like, why did you show me this? It's like,
yes,
like, with you trying to put on this suit of armor, it's a metaphor. You are blocking out.
I totally did not get that. Just landed for the first time with me.
You were blocking out like all of the good stuff too.
Yeah. I'm not even joking. I hadn't thought about it as like a suit of armor. I thought of it as like a way of protecting, like on the defense. Yeah. Damn. I mean, what is grief but love persevering? Mm-hmm. It's the same fucking message. Like, oh, I think I actually wrote it down. when you try to forget the memories that made you sad, you also forget the ones worth remembering. So some of my notes, Gary's fine as hell. Not to hypersexualize him for nothing, but he was quite fine. Sorry, I just read one of my notes. I don't know if this will. I don't know if this will land as much with Shauna as it will with Ryan, but Dominique Thorne low-key went to the Kerry Washington School of Mouth Acting.
Dominique Thorne. Oh, that's Riri, right?
That's Riri, yeah. The way that she carries her emotions in her mouth to convey that, like, it's giving Kerry Washington.
I love it. Apparently, Scandal is coming back to Netflix. No new episodes, but it's just like
got it.
I might be due for a watch, honestly.
Yeah.
So like I love them like the montage scene that follows all of this. Like I love a good montage scene. Same. I love like that, like, you know, like she's at her low point and now like her family, her neighborhood, her circle is stepping up for her in a really cool way, showing that even as she's felt her most lonely, she's not actually all that alone and feels most connected. And I think my favorite part though is when there's the coughing scene and it's just because Zelma's smudging. But I was like, I'll be honest, that whole time I'm like, there's no way there isn't a whiff of marijuana smoke in that like garage at this scene. Like someone there absolutely is. Like, and I feel like there's like a director's cult where Natalie like regrets that she can't. Like she like goes to like grab it and gets frustrated. Like,
I must have like looked down or something at the coughing thing because I totally did not. I don't remember seeing that, but that is hysterical. And there was a moment that Landon ran out to go get something. So like stoners know when you got to seize the moment when you can. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is really beautiful to see her people come around her, and she makes. She starts on the construction of her new car or on her new suit. Whoa!
Mom was like, "Can you make a robot out of this?" And she's like, "Sure,
I sure can." Yeah. I also, during that whole like emotional beat, her mom was like, "No, you have to fight." Like she was. It wasn't like turn and face your problems. It wasn't like don't run away from your problems. She's like, you need to beat this motherfucker up.
She's like, and shoot lasers.
Yeah, here for it. So yeah, simultaneously, the criminal gang is kind of falling apart. Zeke lies to the Hood about killing Riri, and then Clown covers for him, but eventually calls out Parker for killing Rampage, and he admits that he did it. They get into a big fight, and he fires all of them because, of course, he's losing any connection he has to his humanity, and is slowly losing himself to the succumbing to the Hood, which we know that it's Dormammu, but we don't know anything about like where it came from, or even we never really learn like where it came from. But
well, when two kids love each other,
what? Oh,
they don't really have to love each other, honestly.
Yeah. So we get the reveal of the new suit. What do we think of the new suit?
Loved it. Loved how it wasn't
really hot.
It wasn't overly Iron Man-y. It was like, you know, her own flair. I love like the finish on it. Like it was a toot for me.
Yeah. A toot.
It was a toot. Yeah. This look is a toot.
The new Ironheart suit is a toot. And you know,
is the cape though?
The cape
no, it's a boot.
Oh my god,
it's a boot.
I think the first scene with Parker, he looks like it's like bad Ren Fair. Like he's
what
also
did
wearing
I say?
This really shirt. Like
yes, he said he looks like a little kid doing a magic show for his parents. Like sit there, don't look at that. Right. No, that's for later.
It would have been cool if it were like, I don't know, more ethereal. Like if he could have just like, I don't know, summoned it at any point. And
yes, definitely. And I'm sorry, his hair looked much better when it was pulled back with the cape. He looked silly with his little perfect little curls.
The ringlets.
his perfect little ringlets. So Parker returns to the house that he robbed at the beginning of episode 4, where, of course, we learn that it is the home of his father, who is like the head of the arts organization, like some organization that is also like funding these startups that they're robbing. Like, it's very convoluted. And at the same time, Parker's going back to the house from the last episode, which we learn, of course, is actually the house of his father, who kicked him out at age 12, basically for being bad. Parker has been fully taken over by the Hood and gets control of the company by threatening his father, and then kicks his dad out of the house in revenge for, you know, him kicking him out. Nice little turn.
So the thing about like all of these scenes with Parker and like the tech heads, I think it's really interesting, kind of like a nod to like the big bad here, is that he's like making them sign contracts, right?
Oh shit.
Right. Like he's doing the let's make a deal thing, right?
Damn.
Yeah.
Clocked. Good catch.
Yeah.
If it's not a handshake, it's a signature, right? Like,
yes. And he just hands them like a folded piece of paper and they sign it. Like,
and he's like, legally binding. Thank you.
Yeah. So, you know, he is achieving his ultimate goal of like all this power and shit. He gets control, revenge from his father. And we jump over to Riri's garage gang as they're all freaking out about how great the suit is. And Zelma starts this ritual to infuse this mystical energy source. And just as she warned her 100 fucking times, like including right up to the moment before she does the spell, she says magic comes at a cost. And what cost is it? Natalie. Somehow the energy, science and magic can't exist simultaneously or something. And it gets rid of Natalie. Natalie disappears just as Shauna clocked in our last episode. Like, she doesn't say I can't lose you again, but it is very clear that it's a I can't lose you again moment. And thusly, Natalie departs this incredible role. Probably my favorite character in the entire series. Fucking hate it. And from there, it's kind of downhill, if I'm being honest.
Honestly, yeah.
not to like.
That's a really good. I think that's a really good like focal point of it. It's like after that, everything is just kind of like formulaic.
Well, she was the Ironheart.
She was
like
literally
like
shit, yeah.
Like shit, when like it removes the chess piece where she's stored, even when the suit gets destroyed. Like it's
she's the core.
Episode 6, we start the episode. We finally get to meet Mephisto. It is the most anti-fucking climactic introduction of someone that we have been waiting for literally 5 years. I mean, I didn't expect him. I wanted him to be like him from Powerpuff Girls, like just so like over the top,
right? Yeah,
cunty. They do give it this like weight. They take a moment and really emphasize when he says Mephisto. But like it was literally like fucking coitus interruptus. Like it was like, oh, that's it.
How do you have Sacha Baron Cohen be Mephisto and have him play it so straight?
Yes.
Sacha Baron Cohen?
Get it.
Yes, that was Sacha Baron Cohen.
Oh, he's thickened up too. Wow, okay.
Yeah. It also kind of
MCU just beefing up these boys. Okay, yes.
Yeah. There is actually a lot of think pieces about how superhero got like the origin of superheroes getting like Steve Rogers basically, like, and the impact of body dysmorphia, how it like has affected a lot of us into seeing this body, because that's like these standards were set of like the superhero body. They stopped just relying on the fact that they were kind of in good shape and were like, you need to look like a fucking superhero. but that is a whole other conversation. But boo Sacha fucking Baron Cohen too. He's a goddamn Zionist. And yeah, I mean, it's been a minute since his he was public about it, but I also stopped paying attention to Sacha Baron Cohen. But like, best. Yeah, what a bummer. What a fucking bummer. Like, I could give Sacha Baron Cohen some grace if he was playing this over-the-top character that...
If Mephisto was also a Zionist, I'd be like, okay, that makes
sense. And honestly, take that as a marker of Zionists. Like, you're in good company, literally the devil. The devil agrees with your politics. Yeah. But, if he were playing a caricature... Because, like, for better or worse, Borat, the voice is funny. Like, the voice, if you are a millennial, you laugh. I mean, I don't know. I still laugh when someone does the Borat voice, even though I don't want to. But, like, the expression, my wife, can never be uttered again without a millennial just kind of quietly repeating, my wife. It's just, he's a great character actor, and you just made him be kind of fucking...
He was, like, very one note.
The character was an American. Okay,
sure,
cool.
But then British.
Yeah,
but also British then. But also then switch British for no reason. Like, yeah, okay.
Like, it's giving Madonna and Britney Spears.
Yeah, like, seriously, it's very strange.
I think about this archetype and like how it's been done so much better in so many other like I'm talking like Devil's Advocate. I'm talking Raphael from Baldur's Gate, right? Like I'm talking about like all of these like very sinister, but like also charming and like disarming kind of roles. But like this guy's just eating pizza and he's just like, I don't know. I know what you want.
Size of this pizza, I'll send it back for you.
Exactly.
No?
Right.
All right. I'll do it though.
Right. I'm hopeful that he kind of he pivots to something more, I don't know, entertaining.
Yeah. Sinister, like Mr. Sinister is a great example of the same sort of like
queer him the fuck up.
I mean, he's so fucking
cape.
He's so flouncy in X-Men 97 though. He's appropriately faggy in X-Men 97.
That's true.
That's what I wanted for Mephisto. I want Mephisto to literally have a lilt. Right. I want him to be light in the loafers. Right. Like, honey.
Did you the one thing that I did like about the Mephisto scene, did you see his reflection in the spoon?
No, I didn't clock that.
Oh yeah, no, it was very...
I read about it.
It was very like, but it was cute. It's like, what was it? It's like him, like devil horns and red and...
Got it. So we see how easy it is for Mephisto to get Parker to give up his soul, and then we flash forward to Parker at the table eating this massive feast with Zeke, who hates him because he has taken control of his body. We learned that Parker now has control over Zeke's energy that's running through him, and that sucks, and he has lost control. He basically does not have control. He has control over his body, but Parker also has control over it. And so like he tries to get out of his situation by stabbing Parker with a fork, and he stops him. Like, we learn that he cannot let harm happen to Parker, so he must stop any harm coming from him, even from Zeke himself. Yeah. So back at the garage, Riri is desperate to try to figure out how to get Natalie back, and decides now is the time to take on the Hood, like right now. So like Natalie disappears, and then she's like, time to fight. Like, I don't know what the overlap is, but it is brief because they're still talking
very
about
rushed.
Right.
Very
exactly.
rushed.
I'm grieving. I guess I better do this.
And
we don't have another scene. This is it.
Yeah. Her family is like, we haven't even tested like if the magic works. Like, we don't know if what's gonna happen. She's like, gotta go, bye. So she flies to she flies away to Hood's headquarters, where Zeke shows up to stop her. They have a little fight. It's kind of boring. And apparently Zeke has lost his zeal. And Riri tells him that she's able to override Parker's control by kicking him in the nuts.
Which...
Wild. I guess it did make sense when she was like, I assume there's no bionics there.
She's like, you didn't cut off your junk, did you?
You didn't add anything to your junk, did you? Because
like extending,
right, exactly.
Like...
Bold of you to assume that this man has not. He's You think
Stilt man.
You think a man with unlimited resources and knowledge how to build
and daddy
would
issues
improve and daddy issues improve everything except his dick. Okay, come on, babe. I know you're only in your 20s, but be real here.
You never kissed a boy, but come on.
Like, right. So she does it, and I guess that's like Zeke gets control over his body again. He does have kind of a cool line where he says, oh wow, I skipped over a bunch of those notes. I have millions of dollars of weapons inside me and no idea where to put this anger. Which I think is a great, again, analogy for a lot of things, but yes, really and truly. And then Riri takes the elevator to go confront the Hood.
I thought the elevator was going to break down again. It's just another bomb, or like another
Twice we see her in an elevator, and I don't know why that was so geekable to me. I'm like, why is this bitch with rocket jets taking the elevator?
She's not gonna just burst through the floor. She doesn't know where she's going.
Yeah, right. So she confronts the Hood, and they have a huge knockdown, drag out fight. Like,
was it huge?
Yeah, no, it was supposed to be though. It was giving very the end of Secret Invasion, where it's just like,
I didn't see that. I didn't hear it was very good.
It's so bad.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
I didn't watch it either.
Oh damn! I guess I thought we watched that together, but it's really bad. It's overly CGI'd.
I like the part where she I guess decloaks him. Essentially,
yes.
He's like, oh, you got magic.
When she uses a pretty good hologram of herself begging for her life. That was so cheesy. And so predictable. I was like, she's begging for her life.
You get duped by a shadow clone. Come on now.
What do you have your team up with Emma?
Oldest.
Oh, he did get his wig snatched. So
quite literally, she rips the hood off of him, and we also saw that he is literally becoming less human. Like he, his face is getting scary or whatever, and he's got claws and shit. Yeah. He's completely fucks up the suit. You just got this, girl. The suit gets destroyed. I mean, again.
It's either the suit or her chest.
I guess that's true. So Parker's turning into a demon. Riri tricks him with a hologram and takes the hood away from him. Where we learn that it causes him pain. He starts talking about how much it hurts to not have the hood on him.
But didn't the suit actually not? Wasn't that all just the hologram? The suit didn't get destroyed.
The suit didn't explode, but I think he did fuck it up.
He still did. I mean, it was made out of a literal car.
Yeah, it's not
it's
it's not.
It's
what is it? Vibranium.
It's not vibranium.
No. It's car parts, and I love that.
It's a '65 fucking Chevy or something.
Which is also magic that thing drove. So it makes sense.
Exactly. So she leaves the fight, and then again, when we say it really took a turn, she's confronted by Mephisto. She walks back into the shop. That's the front for the headquarters, and who is waiting for her there but fucking Mephisto? And so we start to see him do his little pitch, and twisting her around his finger, but at the same time, it's flashing to what is clearly a different time because Riri has her hair out. She's taken her braids out, and her hair looks stunning. I don't know if that's a wig, but I think her hair looks really good. And Natalie pops back up. And so we're jumping back and forth between Mephisto and her talking and like her showing concern and like I don't trust you, to her talking to Natalie and being like, oh my god, it worked, I figured out the magic, and then Natalie kind of like bumps her in the head and we get this like, wait, so Natalie is there, Natalie is physical, and then she is like, she took the deal. Like they basically tell us she took the deal because she says, how did you do that? And then they hug and we see a little scar start to form on her arm.
I didn't see that. Okay.
Yes.
Like, so
that is the confirmation.
I thought it was kind of this like bait and switch where like you see Mephisto like hold out his hand and you see Riri go to hold out her hand, but I thought she was just gonna be like slap.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of where I was like, I want to see the confirmation. I think that she doesn't even confirm what she's losing, which again, like,
that's okay, the thing that really got me.
If someone says that you will miss this, like, I was like,
is it my kidney? Right. Like, what do you mean I'm not going to miss it? So it's something I have to give you something of mine, girl. That is where one of my notes was like, I feel like where were the black folks in that conversation? Because
where was Cree?
where like, you were told that this guy is from the darkest dimension and you are a black girl from the south side of Chicago with a woo-woo ass mom. You think you would just not recognize a Faustian deal? Like, everyone knows selling your soul to the devil as a concept.
With literally Faust in the like.
I clocked it in the episode 2. There's like they were kind of heavy-handed with it.
They had to be. They didn't have a whole lot of time.
Exactly. I can't believe she wasn't like, I don't know. You're the devil. I see you. You're the devil.
I literally just beat like the other dude that you made a deal with, and he doesn't look too hot.
So what's the tea? So I hopefully will get more information about how he did it. But that's it. That's the end of Ironheart. Yeah. Is we see that she has sold her soul to Mephisto in exchange for her best friend coming back to life. We see that she is doing magic, but on a whiteboard and shit. Like she's treating it kind of like science. She said, I've been working the magic or like hacking the magic or something. And then we get our post-credit scene, which is
very weak.
Parker walking into Miss Stanton's candy shop. He has a brief exchange with Zelma and says, I need some magic. And then she is like, oh, this kind of cute magic? And he says, like, supreme level magic. I need supreme level help, like the Sorcerer Supreme, which I wonder if that means someone else is the Sorcerer Supreme. I don't know. Oh, wait, Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme. Wong, yeah. And then he says, well, like, if you want to take me in the back, like, how about a little abracadabra? And then that's it. That's the end of the fucking series. What the fuck?
I mean, like, of course, you have to have a post-credit saying. You have to like link it to whatever else is coming. I have high hopes for Strange Academy if Zelma's going to be in it. Same. I love her character. Hopefully Parker gets some redemption here at least. Like, I would love to continue to see Anthony Ramos. But like the delivery was just not there for me.
No, it was lacking something. Yeah. Like it didn't have any like they were like, ooh, look what's going to be happening next, but it's just like, I would like this. I can give this.
Exactly. Like where's where's the emotion in any of it? Where's like Parker's
like I want revenge, or like it was just like, why would Zelma help you? Literally, like it doesn't. None of this makes sense.
Right. I don't know who you are. Like, oh wait, you were the guy with the fucking hood? Oh no, get the fuck.
oh, why did you lead with it? That's what I'm saying. Like it made no sense to me.
I'm surprised Cree didn't kick him out.
She clocked the tiny little piece of fabric in Riri's pocket. You can't see all that bad shit floating around him.
Sure.
You didn't, like, your wards didn't go off or something, girl. That is the devil. He doesn't have a soul. He doesn't have a soul. He gave it up already.
Just some awesome tats.
Just some.
That's
and what
true.
was the tattooing thing? What was the tattooing thing?
I think it was like a vanity thing. I think it was like supposed to cover up the scarring, the weird vein shit. Yeah, that was
so
weird.
the idea was that the tattoos on his back that were just like regular tattoos
were supposed to cover up like the
the scarification of your body.
I guess kind of, not really though.
Well, because John was like, I can't keep doing this. And
yes.
At first, I thought it was like some kind of ward, right? I think I thought it was like trying to, at least slowing the process of like whatever corruption was like spreading through his body. But no, I think it like he had like a Puerto Rican flag on his chest. Like,
yeah. I think Anthony Ramos had some uncoverable tattoos, and they're like, let's just work with what we got.
Right.
But actually, I do think the wards thing that still kind of might make sense though, because he does try to do it himself, and he's just kind of
and like he's doing it on his face now, and he's like, oh well,
because they're like spreading up his, so like that'll rouge my cheeks.
I want people to think I'm cool.
Right. I'll just wear my hair down forever.
That's why he's got all those little curly boys. Like,
look the curls.
His perfect little adorable ringlets.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, disappointing ending. I hate when they give the fucking incels like bait or like fuel, because it was bad. It's kind of, it's like it's not, the show was good until the end. Like, I would have kept watching if there was more actual magic involved. They just kept talking about there's being this like magic and tech. They didn't explain it. Magic, but like what? I
mean, like I think like that's when like you just have to like crank up the suspension of disbelief, right? Like, okay, like she made this car robot in an afternoon with her friends, and now it's magic too, right? Like, okay,
right.
Let's do.
How is it magic? Well, like, again, none of it made like. Is it literally like is part of that little cloak in like the reactor core? Like,
that'd be cute. That'd be kind of.
They didn't show that. I didn't feel.
No, and they showed the coolest. I hate when they put really cool moments that are like, oh shit. Like, they showed in the trailers the moment where reality flips upside down. They showed in the trailer when she activates the sigils. Like, those were moments that I would have liked, because it's the first moment we see the sigils be activated. Like, I would have liked to have seen that. Like, there were no stakes at the end. Natalie's already gone, so what is she actually fighting for? Like, I can make sense of it. So earlier when we were talking, I said, I wish my feelings were starting to change around the ending of it, because I was trying, like, that is how people react in grief. That is one way that people respond to grief, is like, they make a lot of really shitty choices, back to back to back, and then they have to live with it when reality kind of comes back. But that's not how they portray it, and they're not direct enough about it. So I do now kind of, I'm back to just not being satisfied. I'm really disappointed.
I think the stakes were still there, because like, Natalie or not, like, she knows that like Parker has a grudge, and like he's willing to do whatever to like settle the score. So sure, like, it was plausible that like he was still going to come after them, like Natalie or not. But like,
sure.
I don't know. Call Avengers.
Hello.
But like, it just felt like 8 episodes crammed into 6, and I get it, but it just left me wanting more.
Same.
And I don't know, because I assume Ironheart is going to be a part of the Young Avengers that they're building with,
Hawkeye,
Wiccan, and with
Hawkeye and
Kate Bishop,
Kate
Bishop. It's very good.
I remember seeing something with that, like, and Uxie said it was a rumor, but that this was supposed to lead directly into Secret Wars. But I thought that was someone like at Marvel saying that. Like, so if I'm misremembering, but like, what if this is actually, no, it can't be an alternate universe. Like, what if it's an alternate universe where Riri sells her soul to the devil and becomes evil or something, and then we actually get a better version of Riri that didn't sell her soul? Like, very what if almost, but like maybe that could be a what if episode. What if Riri didn't sell her soul to the devil? You know.
I hope that she gets some like cool like demon powers at least.
Make good use of it, please. Right. Maybe that's what Strange Academy will be about. Like, so we didn't get a second season to WandaVision, but we did get Agatha all along. Mm-hmm. So maybe we won't get a second season of Ironheart, but maybe Strange Academy will scratch that itch.
Sure.
Feels that way. Like that's kind of, and again, if Riri Williams goes to Strange Academy because she has to learn how to control her iron suit.
More of the skeletons.
Yep. Mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm. So we definitely need more Cree Summer. We need her to be a teacher at Strange Academy. So, any other things that we feel like would, I feel we have lots of ways that we could have made the finale better, but any final thoughts on the show before we get to our ultimate question?
I like Riri as a character. I like her kind of development here. I hope that she sticks around. I would like to see more of her.
Same.
Yeah.
I think she's a great addition to the MCU. And I think she's completely separate from Iron Man. Like, I don't want her to be seen as like the successor to Iron Man. Mm-hmm. Like, this is not
like Captain America. Spider-Man is the successor to Iron Man.
Great point. Point. And like,
they had Captain a relationship. America, they had, the whole thing. But like,
exactly.
If anything, I think Ironheart is the successor to Shuri, or at least like the analog.
Sure. I like that. So, the final question for this, a good show, bad ending, Kate Bishop. What piece of memorabilia would you steal from Ironheart?
Any of Slug's outfits.
Any of Slug's outfits. Specifically Slug's nails. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good
Slug's lip color. Yeah.
I think if I could get like the ringlet wig, I think
I was gonna say, yeah. Cree Summer's hat. Miss Stanton's hat.
Oh, and also Zola's glasses.
That's the one, 100%.
Yeah. Zola's glasses, that would be dope. Yep.
I think the helmet is a very cool.
Yes. Or the Iron Heart, that would be cool to have.
Mm-hmm.
Final question. Who is the hottest character in Ironheart now that we've seen all 6 episodes? Ryan, what do you think?
Cree looks great. She looked great. She was in Swarm. Have you seen Swarm? Swarm's incredible.
Oh no, I never watched it. The show that's making fun of the Beehive?
Yes, you would love it. It's so
I know. I've never watched it though. I need to.
Oh my god, it's so good. Cree.
Okay.
Cree's mother.
Cree Summer. Yeah. T. Shauna.
Look, Zelma fits an archetype of a type of person I'm attracted to. Absolutely the answer.
Yeah. I'm going with
a darker
Xavier.
Girl.
Yeah. I'm going with Xavier. He has one of my favorite names, and he's super hot. And I think one of the tiniest little details that I forgot to mention was when Natalie kidnaps him and brings him to the junkyard. He's fully just wearing socks and slides. And like the socks and slides is very like, okay, we see who you are. His apartment was cute. I would absolutely fall in love with him when I walked in there and saw his apartment. And the way he says "boy" to the to the suit and like flexes on it.
Yeah.
Zay is my breakout character as the hottie. That is going to wrap it up for this episode of Real Hot Nerd Shit. Thank you for joining us, Secret Third Ryan.
Thank you for having me.
Secret Ryan.
Secret Ryan. Yes,
it has been. Shauna, you will also be happy to know that my rebrand from mother to baby is working.
We discussed it last night.
Okay, Eddie.
Yeah,
all right. You got this.
Ariel. Yeesh. I love when Shauna fucking gives us the fact that she retained a lot of knowledge about Drag Race. That was beautiful.
I am who I am.
She is who she is. Thanks for watching. Follow Real Hot Nerd Pod on Instagram at Helen Pastels, on Blue Sky at Intuitive Blurred on Blue Sky. Do you want to drop your social, Ray?
Don't follow me.
Yeah, don't follow me.
Do not perceive me on the internet. Thank you. This was pushing it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, thanks so much for being willing to be perceived for a little bit.
Thank you very much for having me.
Of course. Can't wait to have you back. Check us out next time. We will see you then.
Toodles.
Bye.